Hey guys, how are you? The list of you submitting your charts is ready. I think we have 40 stocks. This is going to be a long video. Bring the coffee, the water, whatever. And yeah, thank you everyone for participating. Even though it's been 5 days or something since I did the thread, that's all on me, by the way. Two things. One thing, we have now 2 threads in the Substack chat option. One is for charts and chats. Basically, everyone can join in, talk about whatever charts, sectors, all that good stuff. And then the other one is for me only. So again, this is just me posting stuff that I think looks really good, or ideas from the videos. Not everything, but some takeouts from the videos. I'm gonna post it there so you can see like a still frame of what I'm thinking, and then you can see the video if you want more detail. Pretty cool. The list is long. It's very long. We will go through it. Some I might skip a bit, bit quickly, but let's see. Let's have a look. A lot of new stuff here, and a lot of stuff also that I haven't been looking at, and I actually had, for quite a while, and I actually had some trend lines on, so that's I left them to show you what they were showing. So this is HGRAF. Funny one this is, because this one was actually first mentioned on like a live stream, which we should do again, by the way. And we were here, somewhere here, and I said, I don't really like the chart, it's a bit messy, but if you really want to get in, you want to take that wedge. Again, this was not a grade A setup or anything, but we're up 1,000%. I didn't buy it. From that wedge breakout there, boom, breakout back test, rally with a big capital letters. So insane, really. Do we buy it up here? No, not yet. Again, I think we could be setting up for something higher here, but also we need a little bit more time. But I will definitely add this one here, the upper, what I think is the upper, resistance for this consolidation. And then I will add a little bit of a trend line alert, just so I get it right, just so we can see. And then we might have the lower one, which I'm not totally sure about yet, but let's see. At least the upper one is there for now. Again, I would never buy it up here. But it was funny that, this little spitballing here saying, hey, again, if you want to buy it, it's roughly around 0.2. And then we went to 2.7 in a heartbeat. Basically a month, boom. Sick. EXK, which is Endeavor, one of the big ones in gold and silver, right? 3 billion, 2 billion. We're just breaking out now from the overall wedge. If you're long, don't sell. Set it, forget it. You can add on pullbacks and all that good stuff, that I'm always saying, yeah. But the long-term breakout has happened. So what we're expecting is a move like that over the next 3 years, whatever. A bit of a reminder we are into some sort of resistance here, right? You can see the highs there connecting with the big bear breakdown here at roughly 7.4. And now we're trying to break through and flip support. So if we can do that, even more fuel to the uptrend, right? I wouldn't change a whole lot. Can you buy it here? Again, not the perfect entry and all that good stuff, which was down here roughly 6, but again, buying it at roughly $7-8. In the grand scheme of things, who cares? It shouldn't do much, right? AUMB, which was actually one that I had on here. I didn't update this one here, so I don't know and remember whenever I talked about it, but we did have a channel breakage here to the upside. And you can see when we have an upsloping channel, you break the upside, typically you get a big burst out of that because you're breaking not a bearish structure, but you're breaking an upsloping channel to the upside. That is very powerful because in order to do so, you need a lot of momentum. Sitting at all-time highs, might be in for a pause here, but again, depending on your time frames and all that, I wouldn't change a whole lot. That break to the upside, breaking all-time highs, looks really good to me. I wouldn't change a whole lot. Uranium, down under. We're still waiting for that to break, by the way, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We're actually waiting for it to break. So I would say anything north of, let's call it, just to be safe here, 3.4 cents entry. 3.4 on H, and we will get that both like here. I'm going to go like that in my view. I've seen it multiple times. We take the internal breakage in order to get in early, and we say, hey, we want to go to here. We expect something like that, right? We expect a little bit of a pullback, and then we go again, and then all of a sudden you play some big numbers, right? So I would absolutely love to buy it at 3.3 cents or so, thereabout, maybe 3.4. You know the deal. When we're breaking that blue one, big entry. Yeah. Endeavor we did, right? These are different, New York and Canadian guys there. This one I was on here as well before doing this, and you can see I had a little bit of a cross here saying, hey, once we break here, right, roughly 0.5, that is your long. So again, the chart overall, it is not, as a default, it doesn't catch my interest, right? This would probably never be a setup that I buy into. Again, I want more, grade A stuff. But again, it doesn't mean if you have like fundamentally, something, or you want to get in, could be whatever. That would have been the ticket in here. I still think we're going to go to the highs there, but again, stage 2 uptrend weekly, not too shabby, but again, not my favorite of all. Sky Harbor looks really a lot, actually very much so like the mega uranium. So again, here downtrend, you can see we're trying to break out backtest now. Maybe we're going a little bit back in, or maybe if we are to really draw the trend lines here, we're getting back in, so a bit careful there. But we did have a breakout. But I think ultimately we might get a deeper one. But again, we had a big selling there. What happened? I'm going to check. A lot of selling. That must have been ETF rebalance. Yeah, has to be. So I think we're gonna, backtest, deep backtest here, and then we're gonna go. And if you want to go long, I will say anything north of 50 cents, 50, you're then gone, and then we're gonna break out and go higher. First target will be 0.7. It's not a place where I would sell. I'm expecting this one to actually grind higher one way or the other. I think mega uranium looks a little bit better, but this one has the same vibes. So again, check out the video that I just uploaded here on mega uranium. You can see it in the prior video. RDS pulling back a little bit. So again here, remember, entry. We've held the longs. We got pretty close to the all-time high. Pretty close. And now we're trying to backtest the channel here. Again, depending on how we draw it here. Could we do a better job of that whole thing? I guess we could, right? Something like this. So we're definitely pulling back. No question. No question at all. Now we want to see what is up here. Multiple things. Remember, we are in an uptrend on all time frames. All long-term time frames. We are in an uptrend. So this is where we want to see if we can buy some stuff, right? Do we have an immature squeeze going on here? Potentially, right? Potentially. So now we're again, I think we're going to find the low here and then go higher. Yeah, that is what I think. So again, long-term, I'm a big holder, you know this. Again, bought it at 0.2. So up 300%, fantastic. But I want this one to actually go for higher prices. I think we're going to break all-time highs later on. And that's my view. TBK, Trail Breaker, one of the small guys. 16 million, we've talked about it. And we have been breaking out, so we have actually technically got the breakout. So what's happening now is the breakout, the backtest. I would buy it here, absolutely. Again, this is a tiny stock. I'm not playing with the stop, but I would buy it here and be like a lottery ticket thing, right? Yeah, I love it here. TBK. Targets wise, I think we're gonna monitor this along the way. It's too, we will monitor it. Lightbridge, funky stock, bit of a mess, but yeah, again, the long call in November 2024, massive surge initially from 4 to 14 all the way back, like we saw on LEU, right? The centrus, and then we had a bull flag, and we had a squeeze, boom, finally breaking. And guess where we saw resistance? 25, the uptrend. I do fully believe that we're gonna somehow, one way or the other, smack that red long-term resistance, and see more upside in this stock here. I think the uranium sector looks very, very good. But again, there's no buy signals here. At least, I think we said one time, if my memory serves me well, that this was the head and shoulders. Excuse me, the cup and handle, right? So you want to buy there roughly 15.5. Right? But other than that, we haven't had a whole lot, because this stuff here, very tricky to get correct. Very tricky. Atom. Initially I was like, this is extremely bad. I'm not a fan, because again, the downtrend here, right? And then we have the deep pullback and the weak, retrace, whatever. And then again, double bottom here. So I will say though that we're trying to break back above here, right? That can be a place to buy. I'm not fully in love with it. I think there are better options and all that, but if you want to get in, I think that's where you want to do it. With a bit of hesitation, sometimes you are overly excited of a stock, and sometimes you're not, maybe we need a little bit more. But you can see, we are breaking some downtrends, but they are very imperfect, right? But I wouldn't be surprised, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see 5.5 and above, that this will rally. But I'm not going to play it personally, but it doesn't mean that it won't do well. GTE here, long-term downtrend, has been underperforming massively. So that might be a reason why you don't want to, play this, because the downtrend here is just really sick. However, I think the ticket in to this one here will be a break of that internal stuff there, right? We have a bit of some sort of a wedge going on here with the puke during Trump tariffs. So again, maybe $7 or so, a bit lower maybe. That is your ticket in. But again, I think we're gonna spend some time here. Right? I think it has some stuff to do, but that could be a way to get in. But looking at other stuff, right? This is oil. I thought it was actually gold and silver. My bad. That makes it even more so, because I thought it was underperforming gold and silver stocks. But yeah, GTE is fair enough. So yeah, $7 or so. We're breaking some internal stuff here, even though it's not perfect. Nothing is, but it's a bit of a mixed feeling. But I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, right? QIMC, Quebec, small stock. Boom, that was a big one, right? Again, this is the first time me seeing that, but again, these are pretty darn good. And then again, we rallied. This looks a little bit like silver, by the way. And that would have been an entry for me. Again, first time seeing it, so obviously I couldn't, buy this one. Sitting at double top here. Again, if we break this in one go now, that is your long. So 0.45 or so, 0.46, that would be your long. Or if we get a little bit more of a bull flag here, potentially, that is also a breakout that you really want to take, to be honest, because this has vibes of some sort of cup and handle in motion here. Right? We don't know, but it has that pre-look of that. Of course, if we have this tiny, I wouldn't say a handle, but if we just break here tomorrow, that would also be a buy. Small stock, small size. COD, Coda Minerals, not my favorite, but again, I'm expecting if we break this one here, that blue neckline, so anything north of 0.2 in my view looks extremely good. Maybe we have already had some internal breakage here, but again, to me personally, I would wait for 0.2 to break. Oh, excuse me, right, that neckline, 0.2, maybe a bit lower, but I think 0.2 is a round even number. That is where you can get in. The target, I'm gonna spitball here quickly, is a 200% measured move. we are targeting 0.59. Ooh, 57, which is actually the breakdown level over here. I love it when you have this confluence on the chart. I would sell half there, by the way. I would sell half. If we get there, I would sell half as minimum. That seems like a good spot to take things off the table, let the rest run. You're risk-free, all that good stuff, yada, yada. GLDC, Cassia Gold. Technically, and again, I want to show you here. I didn't do anything here. Again, breakdown. This is done very quickly because, again, we have a lot of stuff to go through. And then also here we have some sort of downtrend breakage, right? Some sort of breakout backtest here. So we are in a stage 2, no question. We're on stage 2 because higher high, breaking price structure. Any bullish consolidation and the breakout is a buy. Again, I'm not in love with the overall chart per se. We might have some vibes here, but yeah, I think this one is gonna go higher. And if you can catch like a little bit of an entry, cool, do it. Again, we could even backtest 0.3, and you would be also buying it there, the prior high. DRO, which is Drone Shield. Funny, this is a stock that I haven't touched, which was one that I did for a co-worker. We talked about it here, and I'm like, you might want to sell. And then I said, I think this one is going to go to 0.4. Right? That is my target, and then at that point it was at almost 2, or maybe a bit lower. We almost got there, but this third leg was not that long. Then we broke the wedge, and then all the way up again. And they even said, hey, now it's a buy at 0.7 back in the day. Has been doing insanely well. I don't really, again, with all the hype, with all the media, drones this and drones that. Yeah, I guess this one can go higher. Of course, we're never going to buy it here. Never, ever. We're going to do that. Yeah, I don't really know much more. It looks really bullish, but also scary. Can you say that? Because of the movement already. KDK, Kodiak Copper. First time seeing this one. Oh, this wedge here. Oh, this gets me going right there. 0.252. 0.52 is this is an entry I would have loved to get in on. This ticks everything for me. With the horizontal head and shoulder at the bottom, the wedge breakdown from a 4-year wedge, all that good stuff. I like that very much. It looks immensely bullish. If you're long here, cool. Lucky you. I would love to be. Bit of a bull flag here as well, breaking out, back testing, grinding higher. I love it. I really do love it here. Again, can you buy here long-term be fine with, do gains? Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. But the big entry was 0.5. And then you could have added there 0.66. But I think we're going to go higher. Again, we are in a bullish uptrend on the weekly. You buy breakouts. You buy consolidation, breakouts, and then, until that doesn't work. SIC here, I guess something came out here with news. This is probably never a stock that I would be a part of. The only thing down the road that would really get me going is if we get something like this, right? That would be good, but we don't know now. Again, if we tag it here and then start to pull back again, there could be some entries coming up later on, and I will even add an alert just to have it, because I will probably never look at it again. But for now, again, if you're long, cool, don't do anything, of course. But if we get a tag here and the pullback and the breakout, that is a monster, which will happen at roughly 0.44. thereabout. But for now, this is also one that I haven't touched, and I really like it. I really do like it. It's MAG. It's not MAG, it's the Matic Resources in Australia. We're going to remove the measured moves. This is a buy. Right here, right now, you can buy this one. Small stock, small size. But again here, and why didn't I have an alert? I'm an idiot. Anyway, you can see the level here, right? We're breaking out at 6.4, 6.5. We're now sitting at 7.5. Can you buy that? Yes. If you want to buy it, you do it now, not when we're up here, right? You buy it now. The risk reward is here. Small stock, I wouldn't play with the stop. Large 4 or 5 year downtrend broken today, right? Up 30%, even though we're up 30%, you know, buying into that, again, that is what you have to do sometimes. Again, I'm gonna see, I could see this one go to roughly 0.15 up here. If we break that, then we start to see higher prices. Again, let's see what the uptrend brings so we can start to frame that. But the entry is here now. Let's monitor it. We will move it to the Substack section. Boom, there it is. JLL. I don't like it. There's nothing for me here. I don't really... Again, yes, we are technically in stage 2, but we're also having... I don't know. Again, it's not... Again, sorry, but we don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Same thing here with the GLN, which is lithium. It's getting a lot of hype, I know. If you want to get in, I'm personally not going to take it. But again, I didn't take the other one that did 1,000%. So, but anything north of 0.17, and I think again, it's going to rally for sure. It's going to rally. We're going to see more upside there. You're breaking this kind of channel here, getting above, again, stage 2 breakout attempt, you back test the breakout 2 attempt, and then you go again. So definitely 0.17, and this one is going higher. Java here, holding on barely, holding on to the, again, it's funny because coffee is so bullish, and we had that big pop coming down again. We're holding here. I want to move that down a little bit there, so it's still okay. But also we, again, like we talked about, this kind of bear flag here is a bit tricky. But again, coffee is so good. Long term, it's laughable. So in a good way. But we're barely holding, and I will definitely keep an eye on this. And I'm going to place a stop loss below that one there. Well, not like a stop loss, but like an alert to see. THB, Thunderbird. I don't know exactly what, again, yes, we are technically in stage 2 here. Yeah, I don't know. NBA, it's important if you have a stock and you look at it and you don't really connect within the first 5 seconds to actually just skip it. It means, again, probably there's nothing going on for you there. Same thing if you look at a house. You know, within the first 2 minutes if this is something you want to buy or not, basically. So everything after that is just wasting your time. NVA here, also one that I had looked at before and that I didn't touch. And this looks incredible. Again, I love the whole long-term downtrend, you know, breakout here. Then we rallied, then we did a very nasty downtrend channel, the yellow one, with a back test, a bit deep. Fair enough, it is what it is. And then we started to form this. This stuff there after a downtrend breakage should be a default buy, unless you have something that goes against that thought, but that should be a default buy. So if you have a downtrend here, it could be a 1 month, in this case it's 3 years, and then you have a wedge on the way out with that perfect of a symmetry. Buy, boom, there it is. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Again, can you buy it here? Long term, it shouldn't matter, but again, the big entry was roughly 40. Now we're sitting almost at 60. So again, you can buy, but if you start to see some pullback here, that is also to be expected, right? It doesn't mean we will get it, but long term, this chart really has me going, and I think we're going to go to the white bad boy up here, which is roughly 1.3, 1.25 thereabout, right? We're going to hit it here. So ODV, a one-liner, basically, precious metals. funky breakout, to be honest. This very steep channel there. Into resistance now at roughly 5 here. Again, buy any pullback. You have been breaking a 15-year downtrend, so the first pullback that you get after a long breakout, that is when the bigger players start to get in. Typically, they want to buy this, the third leg up, right? That's when they want to buy and sell, and then they leave. They want to take that in the middle. So it looks really good. Buy consolidation breakouts. SA, ooh, this is a goodie. This is a good one. Very simply, a 20-year wedge. Bread and butter stuff, like we like to call it. Yeah, my voice is getting a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But again, we broke there roughly 20. Now we are 25. Looks fantastic. Buy every single bullish consolidation breakout. It's that easy. You cannot be bearish long term as we are now. You can be short term, right? If you look at the 2 hourly, for instance, right? Look at that. If we start to see here, let's say we get this is consolidation, looks really good. But again, if we start to break down here, then we're bearish short term. But that means we want to buy whatever we get. Right? So a 20-year breakout, you don't sell after a month. I have like a rule or like a good guideline. So if you have a 20-year breakout, as a default, you want to divide that by 7. That gives you 3, roughly. So that is roughly your scope of the investment, roughly. It's a good guideline anyway. TUD, 2-day gold. Remember, entry was given there. 0.9, we are now hitting resistance at 1.2, which is, one to grind through. Again, we could see some head and shoulder stuff going on here. And anything north of 1.24 would be a buy signal. Or if you got a back test down to 0.93, would also be a buy signal. Bull flag breakout, buy signal. So we're really looking for a reason to get in. Right, and it can happen in multiple ways. By the way, this one is drawn a long time ago. Look at that. I wasn't a part of this, but look at the measured move here. Boom. And then we went south ever since. So yeah, long term looks really good. Short term, we might get a little wobble. LITP, which was a lithium spot, we said, hey, that downtrend, that's when you want to buy. If you want to buy, with the downtrend breakage. And we're up 100%. So we're up way more than I initially would have thought. Again, the entry was good, but I didn't expect it to be this big of a rally. That's really good, though. If you're long, don't change it. Let it do its thing over the next year or two. Yeah, PNE. Oil and gas. Initially, I'm like, oh, this is such a messy one here, given this broadening structure, bull flag, something funky in the middle. So initially, I'm like, I don't really know exactly what to do. But then, again, one line changed it for me. Because if we see this as a bull flag with the Trump tariff puke, right? 30 minutes, we're still recording good. Then you have this trend line, which is like an internal trend line breakout kind of thing, right? So I think anything north might be a little bit higher than a breakout, but anything north of 0.77 seems to be a good spot to me, right? Breaking back above the prior low, making a higher high, downtrend broken, somewhat of a funky bull flag. Cool. It's a bit messy though, but that's where I'm expecting it to be like a good entry. BCM here, Bear Creek. I'm not a fan of the chart overall, right? Double bottom, midpoint is there. So if we again start to rally higher, basically back above 0.75, then you have more upside. But I would never go in unless we get a bull flag here or any sort of reason to get in. Then I wouldn't touch it here, even though this could keep going higher without me being a part of it, and that's totally fine. But it doesn't have it doesn't have my thing going on there. LYC was a long call. we broke the golden right there. Bit of a breakdown, and then we rallied again. This will be the last one for the video because I just have to go here real quickly. We have like 10 more to go. Will not be covered, but we've also gone through like 30, so that is totally fine. So yeah, the long call was made roughly 9 here, breaking out from that whole downtrend after a pretty nice bull flag breakout. And you can see breakout 9, now we are at 19. And again, we have a funky uptrend here, which I'm not totally pleased with, but it's still the one that I can actually put on and be somewhat happy with. But I still think we're going to go to the all-time high at 26, right around here. Seems like a good magnet to me. So yeah, looks really good. We have a bit more to go until we meet some bigger resistances, and then we will most likely pull back. I say most likely because we never really know, but we always anticipate some sort of pausing up here after such a run, getting back to all-time highs. There's not a whole lot of buying going on there left, right? People are maybe shorting it a little bit, and or taking profits and all that. So let's see. Again, it's lithium, I think, if I remember correctly, and this has a rare earth, so it has a lot of mainstream attention also, right? So again, it could completely negate the all-time high and just blast higher. But I would say getting close to 25, 26, you might want to take some profit on that one. That is all. Well, almost. We did like 30 charts. I have nothing more, guys. That's it. Bye.